So today we are having the honor of meeting Nick Pate. Nick has been with us for several years and a friend for a long time. You walked in the building, how many years ago was that?
It would probably be about 7 to 8 years ago.
7 to 8 years ago.
Yeah.
When you walked in, who invited you?
Matt Show did.
Matt showed. You also worked for Matt,
Yes.
right? And so what were you doing with Matt?
I was a gutter guy. I did installed
Okay.
gutters, project manager.
Yeah.
And then towards the end, I became manager of the gutter guys.
Okay. And so you also had a friendship there?
Yes, we had a brothership
Yeah.
in Christ for sure.
Yeah. And Matt was a big part of your recovery?
The big part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Major part.
So tell our crowd today, just in a snippet, tell them how long you've been battling and then how long you have been sober now.
All right. So I'd say for about 2.5 decades, I have been battling the disease of addiction. On and off, should I say. I've tried to get clean myself about 15 to 20 times. I've been to about 5 rehabs. But I can tell you for sure, the only thing that worked is when I surrendered and I asked God to guide me in my life today. And that truly happened on December 20th of 21, when I woke up in detox in fellowship in Anna, here in Anna.
That's pretty awesome, dude. How long have you been sober?
3 years.
3 years sober.
Yes.
And so let's roll the clock back. Tell me when you, what's your drug of choice? What was your drug of
My
choice?
drug of choice was methamphetamine.
Methamphetamine. It didn't start with that.
No.
What did it start with? Tell me about how you got involved in, when I hear, people just don't know. They don't know how people get involved in chemical dependency. They have all their speculations and they don't realize that oftentimes people get into, become chemically dependent because they're trying to heal from something,
Yes.
right? And so as much as you're comfortable with,
Right.
just share your story of how you got involved. How did chemical dependency even start in your life?
So at the age of 8 was the first time that I had drank alcohol. And the reason why I drank is because I was trying to numb my feelings and the pain that I had been through because I had been molested by my girlfriend's mother. Of course, being a little boy turning into a man that I thought I was, I didn't believe that until I got older, and then I really started recognizing it. But when something like that happens to a child, we don't know how to ask for help because we're scared. And
I want to jump in here. So you just said you started with alcohol at age 8.
Yes,
What was the alcohol? What did you?
it was vodka and orange juice.
I think about 8-year-olds and I think about Redemption Island and the kids that go back in Redemption Island. They would not have any clue or knowledge, right, of vodka and orange juice. Somebody had to make that for you or somebody had to, I'm guessing, right? So tell me about that. You don't have to name a person, but tell me that. Like, how do you know to drink vodka and orange juice at 8 years old?
Well, so to backtrack a little bit, I was living with my father in Detroit, Michigan. I seen stuff that I would never wish upon any kid, even my child, to see. So I seen a lot of drinking there. I seen a lot of drug use there, should I say? And like I said, I grew up really fast. I had to take care of my 3-year-old brother, which was awesome, you know what I'm saying? Because I knew, even though I was a child, I didn't know how to take care of him, but I did the best I could. I always made sure that his diaper was changed and he always had something to eat. So having said that, my great-grandfather came and picked me up. He took me and bought me some new shoes for school. Well, the following Monday I went to school and I got beat up because I had some of the nicest shoes in my class, should I say. So after that, my father called my great-grandfather and said, I don't know what we need to do, but this doesn't need to happen to Nick, and Nick doesn't need to see what's going on here. So my great-grandfather, out of his just kindness of his heart and just how the man was, he took me in, and he became my father. Well, back to the drinking and drugging that I was raised up in, because I was raised up in a chaos family. Like it was no good for a child to be. That's just all there is to it. And then when I moved in with my grandfather, yes, I had a girlfriend at 8 years old.
I don't even know what that means at 8 years old, that you have a girlfriend. So you were obviously, are you telling me that you were physical with a girl at 8 years old?
Yes.
And that came after you had been abused yourself?
Yes.
Okay.
In the mix of it, should I say.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And so, yeah, you talk about growing up really quickly. And so alcohol, how long did alcohol, was that a part of your life?
Up until 12, 20, and 21.
Okay.
I mean, when I would get clean, when I would say I would get clean, I would still drink and smoke marijuana because, of course, quote unquote, they aren't drugs, but they really are at the end of the day. Up until I made that decision, and Pastor, I got down on my knees, and I'll never forget it. And I asked, please do your will in my life. I surrender, because I don't want this life, and I'm sorry.
No.
And I know nothing about this other life that I see these normal people living, should I say, that believe in God, that live for God every single day, that and I don't want to say life's grand, because it's not. We're all human. We're not perfect. We make mistakes. We mess up. I mess up continuously. I have to ask forgiveness constantly. So yeah, when I was, it's just something changed. Like, I remember when they came in and they said, Nick, you can take another day to sleep, or you can start grouping, is what we called it there, which is going to groups, getting into the, rehabilitation center, should I say, rehab. And when they told me that, I jumped straight into, to groups, and it's just like there was a light that clicked on, and I just felt the presence of God all over my life. Don't get me wrong, I've known God for a long time. When I was 18 years old, I caught a drug case, and I was sent. Well, I was 17. I caught a drug case, and I was sent to prison. That was the first time I met God. I got baptized. God never turned from me. I turned from Him every single time, it's just it's amazing when I did come back and I did make that decision. Like I just felt like He just grabbed me up and he held me like a little baby, and I also cried like a little baby. And I'm sorry for my tears, but they're joyful tears, because I don't live like I used to live. Like I can like when I tell you I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it, and you can bet your last dollar that
You're trustworthy now.
Yeah, exactly. And it's all because of God. Yeah. It's all because I choose to follow Jesus today to the best of my ability.
So, caught a drug case at a young age, went to prison for how long?
That was, got a 2-year sentence. I did a little bit of 8 months on that.
All right. Where was that at?
It was in Arkansas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Came to Southern Illinois?
No, went to Tennessee because I had caught another charge.
Okay.
And I got put on probation, and my grandmother seen that, and I was like, let me back up. At 18, I caught a drug case, went to prison, got out, lived a life, of drugging and thugging is what I call it. It's what it's about. I caught another case. I can't remember exactly what it was, but anyways, it was probationable. So I got probation. My grandma was like, Nikki, you need to get out of here. You're just going to end up back. And she was right. It was kind of bogus on her part, but she cared about me. There was a time that she went through my vehicle and she found some stuff she should have never found, And I
What did she find?
I don't care to share that. She found a little bit of meth in a needle, a syringe. Which when she called my mom kind of lost it on her. Like, what are you doing? Leave him alone. He's an adult, blah, blah, blah. But my grandma cared so much about me. All she wanted me to do was to be like I am today. Unfortunately, she doesn't get to see that, but she does because I know she's in heaven. Yeah. And I know she's dancing and singing up there. I do know that as well as my mom. So yeah. then my grandma set it up to where I could move to Tennessee.
Okay.
And when I moved to Tennessee, of course, I took me with me. God was over here doing protecting me when I couldn't protect myself, as always. Got into trouble there. Never really went to prison. I got some jail time and stuff. Never really got caught up with the drug charges there, should I say? And then I met this beautiful woman that was taking care of my grandmother. We found out that she had cancer, and it ate her. It just destroyed her brain in a month, and she passed away. So sorry, I'm gonna back up a little bit. While I was in Arkansas and my grandma was visiting Michigan with my family, she left me there, and me and a friend of mine stole all of her jewelry to support our drug habit. We did put it all back, but as we were getting high in the bathroom, he had somebody come in and steal every single bit of it. So that was a whole nother thing that I had to deal with, and I had to tell that, hey, I was involved in this, but I didn't steal the jewelry after the fact. So that sucked because, to be real, when you're in that lifestyle, you don't tell nothing. And I learned that at a young age by being molested and not telling anybody, should I say. So having said that, I'm in Tennessee. I met this woman. I bought my grandma a pair of earrings so I could kind of make amends. Yeah. As far as being responsible, should I say, which that was, getting clean in and out, should I say. I was actually clean that time. And I took the earrings to her, and I was like, hey, I would like you to have these. I want to thank you for taking care of my grandmother, because my grandmother pretty much gave her last words to this woman. So we ended up getting together. We're married. I lived a sinful life, Pastor. We had a child. I went back out. She came and got me out of a trap house. And if somebody doesn't know what a trap house is, it is a house where people get their drugs and they go do them. So she came and got me, and she said, Nick, me and the kids are moving to Illinois. You're more than welcome to come, but you can also stay here. And I said, well, you're not leaving me without my son. And I was in no shape to be a father. Like today, sometimes I question now.
How old were you then?
I was 30.
Okay.
29, 30.
Yep.
So she said, I'm controlling everything when we get there. So we moved up here. I wasn't working at the time. I was drawing unemployment. We got here. I put a couple applications in. I went to work. And of course, once again, it started off with alcohol, because I can hide it, right? How can you hide the smell of alcohol? You can't. So one day I came in from work, and I had drank a beer on the way home, and she kissed me, and she's like, so what's up with this? And I'm like, I'm drinking. I don't care what you say about it. I was very, very hurtful. And I think that plays a big part in my whole life, because I was hurt so many times. You know what I'm saying? I never really healed like I have today. I don't sit and dwell in the past at all. I live for today and today only.
Do you find that drugs make you just self-centered and self-focused? Do you feel that's a true statement? Like,
yeah,
when you're doing drugs, it's about me, my high, not worried about others.
Yeah,
God's way off on the shelf.
He's there. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, but yeah. To tell you, the core of my disease, I have the disease of addiction. I want more of whatever it is. But that is the core of our disease, self-centeredness. And that's what happens. It makes us selfish. I want what I want, and I want it now, and I don't care what I got to do to get it. Which
is the opposite of Christianity, which is giving yourself away and surrendering to God.
Humbling and being a servant.
Tell me the journey to Jesus. Tell me what that looked like.
Well, it's happened a couple of times. So just the recent one, like I said, when I was in rehab, I can remember through my 6 month of relapse, quite a bit. Me and Drew would pray, but then it got to the point to where Andrew would text or call, and I wouldn't answer. I had another guy that would reach out. So I continued to pray, and I still don't understand why I did that. And I continued to pray, and I continued to ask, please, I don't want to live like this. This is not the way that I want to end my life. I would rather end my life as a recovering addict instead of a active drug addict. You know what I'm saying? So having said that, I prayed, and I don't know if you know this guy. I think you do. Brian Norman.
Oh, yeah.
So Brian Norman reached out to me. We had a phone call, and I just said, man, I'm not ready yet. And that's all I said. Like, pretty much leave me alone. I'm not ready yet. Well, I got a text from him about 2 weeks later, and it's what it said. Are you ready yet? I didn't reply. 2 weeks after that, I drove to his house, and I knocked on his door real gently because I wasn't sure if I was done yet. His wife comes to the door, and I said, is Brian here? And she said, yeah. So he got dressed, whatever, came outside. We got in his truck. And this is when he called Brett Sapp.
Oh, yeah.
And he asked Brett Sapp if you guys could help me get in a hotel for the night away from the hotel that I was living in because it was infested. Yes. So I thank you, and I thank you guys for it because it helped me change my life. Yeah. Because that right there showed me how much God truly did love me, even though I was a wreck, I was a mess. And I'm truly thankful for that. Truly thankful for Brian. So we went to the Country Inn is where you guys got me a room at. I felt so much relief, and I prayed that night, and I asked God, I didn't get on my knees yet. I asked God, I said, if there's a way out of this disease and out of this using, please make a way for me. The night before, we set up an interview for fellowship, and I didn't know that I was going to be able to be in there or not. So the next morning, of course, Brian picked me up. Sorry about not looking at the camera. Right. But Brian picked me up, and we went to fellowship. We did the interview. And I'm going to tell you the truth, man. They gave me a bunch of paperwork to fill out, and I just looked at them and I said, man, I'm just ready to go to bed. Yeah. I said, can I do this later? Like, I'll do this paperwork. And they're like, no, Mr. Pate, you have to do it. So I was throwing a tantrum. The drugs were still in me. My disease was kicking, wanted to leave and go get high and throw everything away again. I filled all the paperwork out. I'll never forget, I called Matt Show. And I said, I call him Chief just to let you guys know. I said, hey, Chief, I just want to let you know that I'm in rehab. He said, all right, awesome. I'm glad to hear that. He said, but what you going to do different this time? This is like how many times for you? And I just told him straight up, I said, I don't know if it's going to change or not. I just know I want something different today. So after that, we communicated while I was there. When I got accepted into it, I went into detox. This is the horrible thing that I'm about to tell you. So when I went to rehab, I had a laundry basket full of dirty clothes. That's how far I allowed myself. That's how far I allowed the disease of addiction to take me, is to not shower, not have clean clothes, barely had a car. And that was the Lincoln that God blessed me with through you guys. Couldn't maintain it, couldn't take care of it. I couldn't even take care of myself. And that's just what the disease of addiction with drugs does. It takes everything away from us that we care about. Just to give you a little bit of background about when active addicts get clean and we start a recovery program, we're some of the best people in the world because we've been in those trenches. We've seen the other side, should I say, of the world. It's it's Satan out there, and it's bad. It's bad. So a little bit more fast forward, they took me and accepted me. They had to strip me down, search me, and all that stuff. Okay. I'm like, can I go to bed now? She's like, yeah. Where's your clothes at? I'm like, they're all right there, and they're all dirty. I went to sleep. I slept for 2 days straight. I didn't eat nothing. They woke me up, told me I could come eat. I did, and when I woke up, Pastor, I got down on my knees, and I just said a simple thank you. Mm-hmm. I don't know what you have for my life, but it's better than what has been going on for 2.5 decades to almost 3 decades. And like I said, man, it was just like, yeah, I still feel it today that I'm loved and I'm held, like I'm held in his hand. Mm. That's the best part of it. So
that was the turn for you.
Yeah.
And so now talk to me about, like, imagine you're living a life now that addiction doesn't control you.
Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. You know what? I have a schedule in my life today. I work 3rd shift, so I sleep during the day. It's kind of backwards, but still it's okay because you'll love this. So when I got my job out of Continental, which was 3 years ago, mm-hmm. Actually about a month after I got out of rehab, I went to the shelter, mm-hmm. and that's where all this really generated from, should I say, to where I'm at today in my life. Yeah, work 3rd shift. So that's when I did all my running, all my transport, whatever. Yeah, all my dirt. How about that? And I just felt like God said, "Okay, buddy, how about this? Let's do this. I'm gonna make you work the times that you used to do all your terrible stuff." And now how you gonna accept that? And I'm still on that shift. So I'm very thankful for that. I have my own place. I have had my own place since about 3 months after I got out of rehab. The shelter helped me out so much. It's a wonderful place. And if anybody is struggling with trying to get out of something or whatever, please, they will accept you and take care of you and help you to the best of their ability. It's a wonderful place.
Give me from the top of your heart, bottom of your heart, mm-hmm. just give me a thank you to Jesus for all that he has done for you. Just look into that camera and just thank the Lord.
I just got to thank you, Jesus, for everything that you've done for me. Thank you for taking me out of a hole, out of a rut, out of a trench, and setting me upon ground that I can build a life on. Thank you for standing by me and waiting for me as a gentleman that you are. And thank you for loving me when I didn't love myself. Thanks, Jesus.
Now I want you to look at the camera, and I want you to imagine a life where imagine somebody who's in that world. What's the first step they need to do in faith, in just the practice? Like, what someone's in addiction today, if you knew that, you would say, do this, right?
Yes. I would say surrender and reach out. Because if I didn't surrender and I didn't hand everything over and I didn't seek the help that God has for me, should I say, and God has done for me, I would not be sitting here with you right now. Not even a little bit, for sure. I would be out there just living a life of misery.
How important are godly friends in your life, in your sobriety?
They're very important. Andrew, that is a member of the church, we actually pray almost every single day. You know, work gets in the way. We'll have a schedule are mixed up. Well, he's going to work and I'm going home and going to sleep. So it's very important for me to have godly people in my life because I don't know how to live. Godly people, godly men, they know how to live, and I learn by watching. I don't read a lot. I never have been a reader. I watch. Just like the program of Narcotics Anonymous that I work, very spiritual. God is in that program. God created that program with 2 people back in 1953, and it is very spiritual for sure. I would also say get hooked up with a program of recovery, whether it's Celebrate Recovery, Narcotics Anonymous, AA, Cocaine's Anonymous, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe Benton has a Meth Anonymous now. Get connected with the program and get connected with people that love God and love Jesus, because we, as God-fearing men, are the best men to be around you at that time, because we don't want anything from you. We just want to see you grow and to become a man of God.
Well, Nick, you've shared your story. Is there any last things you want to say, or do you feel like you covered it all?
I just want to thank you and the church, and most of all, thank the God of my understanding, which is Jesus, that he put this on your heart to have, because I can only give away. I can only give away. I can only give away what has freely been given to me, and guidance and directions from godly men are a big part of my life today. So yeah,
Brother,
thank you so
I'm
much.
proud of you.
Thank
I really
you, Pastor.
am. God bless you.
All right.